4K podcast. I'm Jamali here. What's up, you guys? Back with another Scream review. Today I will be reviewing Scream Season 2, Episode 6, Jeepers Creepers. Alright, so the episode opens up and we have Noah doing a podcast, and he's basically talking about what he usually talks about, what the fuck is going on. And while he's talking, we see, different characters doing different things. We see Brooke, we see Audrey, and I guess they were just trying to show how these different characters are dealing with, Jake, or, all the shit that's been going on. Next we see Emma, and Emma gets a phone call from the killer. Sorry, I got distracted. She gets a phone call from the killer, and the killer's just talking that normal shit that he normally talks. So her boyfriend Kay comes over, and he pretty much apologizes for his fucking bullshit these last couple episodes, because he's definitely been on that bullshit. Y'all know how I felt when he snitched on her last episode. I was not here for it. I'm happy he came back to apologize, but I'm gonna get to him at the end of the fucking episode, how I feel about him. So Emma goes over Noah's house, and Noah's acting real sus. He's like, oh, my door was locked. Oh. And she's like, I forgot why she said she had to come over there or something, but she ends up looking at his I don't know what you call it, a storyboard or whatever. The board, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. She ends up looking at the shit, and she sees that Audrey's the prime suspect, and she immediately gets upset, and she's like, she's like, look, Audrey's not the killer. I know she's not the killer. The killer's just trying to get in your head, blah, blah, blah. So Noah, I was expecting Noah to say that he took the phone and he's seen this and that, but he didn't. Noah just he kept that to himself. When Emma leaves, we see him pick up the phone or whatever. So next we kind of see that he's like following Audrey around, and she catches on to it, and she's like, why the fuck are you following me? And he acting sus and weird. Oh, I want to buy a bike, blah blah blah. He does all of this to drop her phone back in her bag. So later on in the episode, when Audrey's going to buy another phone, she peeps that this is in her bag, and I assume that this is the point where she puts two and two together. Noah goes back to Emma's crib, and he comes up with a plan. He's like, look, I'm gonna send a picture to Eddie of Audrey, and so we can rule her out if she's the killer or whatever's going on with that. So he does, and Scream, the killer texts some shit back, but I didn't see. I don't know if y'all saw it. It was like they got close to it, but they didn't get close enough or some shit. So I didn't really read. I couldn't read what the killer texted back, but the killer sent back like 3 messages. To what the fuck, to the picture or whatever. So, that's pretty much what the whole episode's about, them 3. But, during the episode, we have other things going on. We got Brooke taking matters into her own goddamn hands. She meets with the teacher and tells the teacher some bullshit, because I guess, I didn't really get why she told the teacher the shit, but in my head, I'm like, maybe she sees through this bitch's shit like the rest of us. So I'm like, maybe she told this bitch this shit because she knew the teacher was gonna go back and say something. That's what I'm assuming. So she goes and tells this fucking teacher bitch that I don't fuck with that she was fucking the old teacher, Branson or whatever. And so this teacher bitch, immediately after Brooke leaves her, gets on her fucking phone to call some goddamn body. I didn't pick up on who she called. I don't know if they showed who the fuck she called, but she called somebody. And I didn't really, am I the only one who was like lost this episode? I don't know if I wasn't paying attention enough or what, but it was like certain things were going on, and I was like, why is this character doing this, and why is this going on? Like, I didn't understand why Brooke was doing what she was doing, but it may have just been me. I may not have been paying attention good enough. I don't know. So she ends up meeting, I'm sorry, I'm skipping all over the place, y'all. So she ends up meeting with Branson, pretending like, she's coming on to him. And she ties him up and takes out a knife or whatever. And she's like, basically questioning him about killing her boyfriend. And he's like, I didn't kill your boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I know your alibi was bullshit. And, was that the reason why? Was it because Branson was sleeping with that teacher bitch? I don't fucking remember. I don't know. I was lost this episode. So that happened, and she ended up fucking believing him or whatever and leaving, but she left him tied up. So also throughout the episode, she sees Gustavo, I think that's his name. She goes to see him, or he comes to see her, whatever. They meet up, and she tells him that she needs for him to go into his father's office to find out whatever information, and I think Branson's file or somebody's fucking file. Oh yeah, and that's when he finds out about the alibi or whatever. So that was actually before all of this. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm all over the place. We also have Audrey. See, usually I do a live review for Scream. That's why I'm a little off right now, because I'm not used to sitting here and doing like a recap. The reason why I'm doing a recap and not a live watch this week is because I had to work late Tuesday night, so I ended up not seeing it. And Wednesday I was real busy too. I had to work and just a bunch of shit going on. So I ended up watching it like Wednesday afternoon, and I just watched Pretty Little Liars and Scream back to back. I didn't think to like, okay, let me sit here and record. But next week hopefully we'll be back to the same shit, unless my schedule's fucked up again. Let's hope not, for my fucking sake, because I'm tired. Okay, I digress. So yeah, Audrey also meets with Gustavo, and Gustavo shows her the fucking novel or some comic book or whatever the shit he's putting together, and he lets her know like this is all the fuck it is. And Audrey's playing him or whatever like usual, and he's like, I know what you're doing, blah blah blah. So Brooke fucks up the bed because she's still upset about Jake, and Emma goes over there and she's like, don't tell my dad, blah blah blah. And Emma leaves, and then the police officer comes over, and the police officer's talking to the dad, and the sheriff or whatever is still lying about the phone, because the dad was like, yo, did you get into the phone? And the cop's like, no, I didn't. So still lying about that shit. And that's pretty much when Brooke comes up with the idea to call Gustavo to break into his office or whatever. She also, towards the end, we see Gustavo in the Scream mask. He over here dancing around in his fucking drawers with the fucking mask on. And I'm like, is this shit? See, I don't even believe like he's even involved. I mean, I didn't in the beginning, but I really don't now. Because I think this shit just getting this dude hard for real. I think he probably wears his fucking mask and beats off to it and fucking watches people die and replay the fucking news shit and jerks off and shit. This dude is just weird. I'm sorry. He just, why are you over here stripping with the fucking mask on, bro? I don't understand. But anyway, so she comes over and almost catches this fool doing some weird shit, and they start talking or whatever, and he hugs her and holds her, but we get this creepy ass look from him where he looks at the box where he just put the mask and shit in. So now let's get to the nitty gritty. So Eddie, I guess, text Noah back and was like, yo, let's meet up at this fucking creepy ass fucking place. So Noah's like, okay, cool. He tells Emma about it. They're both supposed to meet up, but Kay kind of holds Emma up and is like, oh, don't do it, da da da. And Emma goes anyway, but she's late. So when Noah goes to the creepy ass place, he gets he gets into his car or whatever, and the killer puts some shit over his face so he can't breathe or whatever. And immediately when this happened, I thought Noah was gone. I was like, oh my god. And this is why, because me and Elena was just talking about how Noah how Noah could die this season, and we both love Noah. So when this happened, I was like, oh shit, like he's about to die. Like I can't deal with it right now. Thank God that he didn't die. So he gets quote unquote kidnapped, and when he wakes up, he's tied up in one of the like roller coaster seats or whatever. And he's yelling, blah, blah, blah. And then behind him, he sees Audrey. So him and Audrey are sitting there talking. And he's like, oh, we're really about to die, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, I need to be honest. So he comes clean about, really wanting her or some shit like that. Like really liking the kiss or whatever that they had. Which is a little weird. Because I'm like, dude, you liked Audrey this whole time? Like, Audrey's beautiful. Like, no shade. But I'm just like, what? Like, I didn't get that. And he came clean about taking her phone and seeing everything in the phone and blah blah blah. And then Emma comes, or they hear Emma yelling or whatever, and they're like, oh shit, Emma's here. And then this is where I was just completely fucked up. Audrey fucking breaks free of her fucking shit, and Noah's like, what the fuck? Just like I am. I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? What is going on? And she's like, oh, you weren't really kidnapped. I kidnapped you because you were getting too close to what was going on with me. And I'm sitting here like, bitch, what? So what? Like, Audrey, girl, go somewhere. I'm done with her. I'm just completely done. But let me continue. So they go run to find Emma. But first, Emma sees the killer, and the killer's like chasing her and shit. And then they run into her and find her, and they're all like, what the fuck? And then fucking Kay runs fucking around the corner, and this is where I said I was gonna get fucking back to him, because I'm like, hell to the fucking no, he got something to do with this shit. Because conveniently, ironic fuckingly, this fool comes around the corner when we expect the killer to come around the corner. Ironically, you appear there when Emma leaves your ass. Bitch, please. I'm sorry. I don't trust Kay. All trust out the motherfucking window for that fool. And I didn't trust him anyway. But for real, hell to the fucking no. Because that was a little too sus for me. I don't know about y'all, but that was a little too suspect for me. I'm like, this fool. Whew, y'all, I'm just not here for it. So he's talking about oh, I followed you, blah fucking blah. And so that's that. I think he takes her home, or some shit happened with that. But then we have Noah and Audrey in the bedroom or whatever. And Noah's like, oh, I thought you was gonna leave. And she was like, no, I'm not gonna leave. I gotta tell you something first. So he was about to do his podcast. He didn't turn it off when she came into the room. So she comes to him and she's like, well, don't tell Emma this or whatever. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I brought Piper to the town, and I was writing her letters because I wanted to do a documentary, because I was feeling like shit and alone, and I felt like, he was feeling like shit and alone, and blah fucking blah. And then we see that, obviously the podcast and shit was still rolling. And I was like, no, it didn't set this bitch up. Like, everybody is being shady to everybody. And I'm not mad at Noah for doing what he was doing because of what Audrey did in the last fucking scene. Like, bitch, please. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, Noah, like really? Woo, y'all. And then at the very end of the episode, we have a Pretty Little Liars-esque type scene where we see the killer kill Branson with a fucking iron, cuts off his hand and shit. And I thought the episode was okay. This season has been really good, but this episode was probably on the scale. This episode was probably my least favorite out of all of these. Like I said, it was a lot of shit going on, and it was going over my fucking head. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention enough or whatever, but I was confused most of the time. Audrey's on my shit list, Kay's on my shit list, and that bitch ass teacher's on my shit list. Audrey, what the fuck? So this situation was so fucking serious to your stupid bitch ass that you kidnapped Noah, bitch, and was gonna sit there and pretend like you got kidnapped too? Like, I feel like she's more involved than she's fucking saying. I'm sorry. I know she quote unquote came clean at the fucking end of the episode, bitch. Please, for you to go and do all of that, bitch. You were in this a little deeper. I'm sorry, she's in this shit too deep. And if she's not in this shit that deep, why the fuck are you doing all this? Doesn't make sense at all. And Kay, like I said, can't be fucking trusted. But yeah, y'all, that was my review for Scream. I'll try to be back with a live watch. Like I told y'all, my schedule's been crazy. Whew. Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Share if you love it. Peace, y'all.